The Discipline of Doing Nothing Helped Me Get Clarity by Andrew Shell. The trail was covered in ice. Where people had walked, the snow was compacted and slick, and I was headed downhill over a lot of rocks. It's easier to be present when you're just trying not to slip and crack your head open. This weekend, I conducted an experiment. I headed to Blue Mound State Park, grabbed a notebook, and left my phone in the car. I wanted to step away from the constant stimulation and see if anything interesting surfaced. I spent 4 hours in nature, alternating between tromping through the elements and sitting and writing in my journal. The physicality of it was challenging, as I'm an overweight, out-of-shape computer nerd. There were a lot of hills, which by themselves would have been challenging, but slipping and sliding in ice and mud made it even more of an ordeal. The weather in Wisconsin was pretty good for March. The temperature got up around 55 degrees Fahrenheit, but it was windy at times, which was pretty uncomfortable. I enjoy walking and being in nature, but this was really difficult. I wasn't able to zone out and let my mind wander like I typically do on a long walk. I really had to be present, focusing on my footing. My hope going into this was that I would get some amazing download from the universe, but I think the results were a little bit more subtle than that. My journaling surfaced with some interesting thoughts. Busyness versus productivity. I have a tendency to overcommit and then burn out, which leads me to feeling guilty. So I start more projects, which starts the cycle all over again. I also have this conflict between feeling overwhelmed and wanting a simpler life and the idea that I need to grow and develop as a person. This will be something I need to spend time thinking about to really unpack. I think in the short term, I have several projects that I discussed in how I'm deciding which projects are worth pursuing right now. But I need to keep a list of open projects short. Additionally, I need to make one of my projects to take time to disconnect and spend time doing nothing. I want to be clear on what I mean by doing nothing. Technically, we're always doing something. I can sit on my couch and watch the paint peel, but that's still something. So in this context, I mean specifically not reading, listening, or socializing. I should be alone with my mind and give my brain the space to think. Burnout recovery. This aligns with my desire to make space for doing nothing. However, it has a different spin. I attended a workshop recently where the host claimed that rest is not sufficient to recover from burnout. Specifically, there were 3 strategies to reverse burnout: vagus nerve stimulation, dopamine recalibration, and cognitive and behavioral techniques. So I will investigate options for all of these. I know spending time away from stimulating devices and activities will help with what's described as a dopamine detox, so that's good. My therapist suggested some practices like breathing exercises and humming that should help with vagus nerve stimulation. Would you consider disconnecting and spending time in nature with nothing but your thoughts in a notebook? Do you have experience with reversing burnout? Please comment or send me a DM.